Hi guys, I'm Evan Heffernan of Heffernan BBQ, located at Brew 30 Tap House on Telge Road in Cypress, which is a suburb of Houston, Texas. Let me show you what I got. Alright, so this is a custom pit my dad built and mounted himself. It's got a centrally located firebox. Got smoke coming out both ends and out through the center. We can do about 16 briskets when we fully load it, and I have no idea how many gallons it is, but it's close to a 500 gallon. Yeah, we do everything on this pit, and then during the daytime we use it as a warmer, crank it back up at night, and I cook again and start over.
What'd your dad build it out of?
1/4-inch rolled steel.
Does he do welding or?
He did.
He did?
Well, he was I don't know, what do they call it? His name was Robert. They called him Multi-Bob because he was multifaceted. He could do anything. And so he got the rolled steel. He welded this all together. Obviously not professionally, but good enough. Yeah, he started this business as a means to make money when his main company went under back in 2008. Started selling out of a dinky little trailer at ballparks and stuff, chopped beef sandwiches, and made a good living doing it. Was able to put me and my brother through college doing that. And then when he got his business back, things picked up. He bought this, put the pit on it. Started doing more events, stuff like that. But it was always kind of a hobby for him, just kind of have something extra. And when he got sick and passed away, I had probably about 6 months or so to learn as much as I could to try, to take the helm of this. And when COVID hit, I was forced to deal with customers face to face. We started going out every day, and I just realized I was not proud of the food I was serving. And that started the arduous process of figuring out what I wanted it to be, and come a long way since then. So I think y'all see that on the tray.
So how long ago did your father start the business? Or start this?
2012 is when everything started. That's when we knew people with one of the local Little Leagues. So they had us out there. Captive audience. He just sold chopped beef and kind of worked as a concession stand, and all cash business. Made real good money doing it, and that lasted for about 3 years. And then he started popping up at a local car show every Saturday. And when things got busy with him, I actually worked with him as a glazer. That was my job for like 2 years before he got sick. And so when he got sick, it was like, we're either going to sell it or I'm going to give it to you. What do you want to do? And I didn't even eat barbecue. I knew nothing about barbecue, but I just saw it was too good of an opportunity. I didn't want it to pass by. And I knew that if we sold it, that'd be that. It'd be over. Nothing would ever come of it. I would never get into barbecue. And I'm glad that I took the risk, dropped out of college and grabbed a hold of this.
So what year was it that you took it over?
Officially, I took over in 2017, but that was purely just me learning and catering. And then in 2018, after he'd passed, we still had the residual catering events, people that kept coming back to us. And so for about 2 years, I just kind of went through the motions. Very rarely did I go out and serve the public. And when COVID hit, that was like, all right, catering's gone. We need to make money. We had a friend that works locally that got their business to let us set up. It was at a dialysis center on Highway 6. And that's kind of where I cut my teeth and got a feel for what's acceptable and what's good and how good. I started looking at other barbecue places for the first time, and I learned who Daniel Vaughn was and learned who J.C. Reed was. I had no idea who those people were up until then, and it was like, I'm not anywhere near what these people are doing, and if I'm going to do this full time, I need to be. And so that just started the kind of obsession of, let's figure this out, you know.
Can you remember what maybe someone's barbecue or the bite of barbecue that made you think like, hey, you know, this is a whole new ball game. These guys are doing it so well.
I can't remember specifically what exactly triggered it. It built up over time. Yeah. I got fed up with what I was doing. I wasn't happy with it. It didn't seem right. And yeah, every single time. And that's when I jumped in heavy on, you know, studying the Franklin videos. There are other accounts on YouTube, Mad Scientist Barbecue and whatnot. Mad Scientist was great in helping me figure out what I didn't want to do. It's like, well, that doesn't work. I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna focus on this. And as you get better, there are subtle nuances in people just showing their operation. And you can kind of pick up on what they're doing, incorporate that into what you're doing and see what works. And just over the last 4 years, it just kept evolving and evolving. Even still to this day, I tinker. Not so much with the briskets anymore, but I still keep an open mind. You know, once that shuts down, everyone passes you. And I hadn't even been to the top yet, so.
What would you say would be the biggest difference between the pitmaster you were in 2017 to the pitmaster you are now?
Back in 2017 till about 2020, I was a going through the motions pitmaster. You know, this is what my dad showed me. It's just what I'm going to do. Very little pride in it. Just kind of doing a job. And I think when it clicked that this is what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to make a career out of this, I need to make it my own. I need to take it to the next level. My brother and I had always said that the barbecue could be better. So, you know, I focused real hard on that, and now I'm not complacent. Now I'm like just, you know, a little OCD about it. But you have to be. All the best pitmasters are a little bit, I don't know, controlling over the whole process, and they take it very hard. They don't get mad at their staff, they get mad at themselves. And that's just kind of how I developed.
How long have you been at this location?
We've been located at Brew 30 for the last year and a half regularly. We had popped in and out a few times. Part of the reason why we're not better known is because there were 3 locations that it just didn't work out. We had been there for a year or more, and whether it be change of the management team or tragedy or you know, all sorts of stuff happened where we had to pick up and move and start all over. But all the while, you know, I never stopped trying to get better. The food that I serve now is better than the food I served 6 months ago, which was way better than the food I served in 2020. So it's just been a gradual progression and a lot of hard work. It's not glamorous. All right, so this is my dungeon, my smoked out pit room. Right now we don't got anything cooking. We just got kind of using it as a warmer, finish off some sausages. But you see, you know, I can fit easily 6 on this side. If I squeeze it, I can maybe get 7 on both sides. And then if I need the extra space, I can go up top and just rotate. But I prefer not to do that. And then we're connected right to our serving area, prep and serving area. So we got our fridge, got some warmers, got a generator that we don't use anymore because we can plug in now wherever we go. Sink area, it works well, and it's wide enough to where we're not bumping into each other like crazy. The people I work with are kind of small, and I'm not very big either, so it works out. And so I park myself on that far side, go in and out of the pit room, get what I need. My mom, Jeannie, who I own this business with, she works the window, and then my aunt, who makes the desserts and is a full-time school teacher, that's why she's not here right now, she comes in and she's my grunt. She gets the sides ready, she preps the trays, gets them all pretty, and no, it's a family-run, top-to-bottom business, and we take a lot of pride in what we do, and I couldn't do it without them, for sure. Definitely couldn't. So. All right, so when we first started out, it was mainly just sliced chopped brisket sandwiches, pulled pork, and then sausage. We didn't do trays, but now we offer by the pound, we offer trays or plates. We have 5 different sides. All of them are our own recipes. We got the red beans, ham hocks with rice. That's my granny's recipe. Tomato cucumber salad, mac and cheese, which has been the hardest thing to develop. It's been a ongoing thing for the last 3 years. Caesar Verde slaw, which is kind of a play on a Caesar slaw, but we incorporate jalapenos, cilantro, lime. It's quite good. And then the potato salad, which seems pretty basic, but kind of checks all the boxes. It's not runny, but it's not overly chunky. It's kind of got mash in it, but it's not mashed. It's definitely not bland. It's well seasoned. I love the stuff, and that's the one constant from day one is do not change the potato salad. I'm happy with the potato salad. Got the banana pudding, which is a long-time family recipe. It's a favorite for sure. That was the dessert we rode with for 4 years exclusively and never had any complaints. It is J.C. Reed's, one of his Hall of Fame desserts. And the lemonberry custard cup, we call it that because it doesn't really fit any, it's not a tart, it's not a cake, it's not a pie. Don't really know what to call it, so I just call it quite literally what it is. It's got a shortbread crust, blueberries on top that kind of form a crust. It's great. I make my own sausage. I got 3 types. I got a house mild, which is a pork and beef blend, and then jalapeno cheese, which it's kind of jalapeno cheddar, but I use a cheese that mimics cheddar. It's not full-on cheddar. It's called Dubliner. It's made by Kerrygold. It's very good. And then I got a French onion. And French onion came about because I needed an all beef link, and I don't like all beef links. I wanted something that was all beef but didn't taste like it. And so the heavy onion in it, it's got caramelized onion, it's got Gruyere cheese in it, but not chunks of it. I shred it so it blends in real nice. The inspiration was French onion soup, because like all the beef, the juice from the rendered beef in there, it's catching on quick. Chimichurri turkey, I got tired of making the standard turkey. Wanted to have a little fun with it, and I was making chimichurri all the time because I was doing beef ribs with chimichurri. Started doing that back in 2021. My brother and I thought it would be a good idea, and so I always had chimichurri on hand, and I'm like, well, it's got oil, it's got the salt seasoning in it, the vinegar's a nice touch. I think it'd go good on turkey. And when it didn't totally just all slide off and fall into the bottom, and it actually imparted itself into the turkey, like that's a winner. Got to be careful with the smoke level on it because it can get really smoky if you aren't careful, but when it's on, and people love it. A lot of the time it's what I sell out of first. Staples, brisket. The ribs have changed. Used to be exclusively dry rub. Then we offered both glazed and dry rub, but then I came up with a glaze that I really like. It's not too sweet. So that's what we go with exclusively. Is it's a peach and lard glaze. It keeps everything nice and juicy. It's sticky but not too sticky. You still get the savory notes. Doesn't overpower it. I really enjoy it. Yeah, that's our menu. We offer specials from time to time. I was doing a pastrami rib for a while. Might get back to that. Pastrami dino rib. Really good. 6-day brine on that. 6.5-day brine on that. Pepper crust. People love it, but where we're at, people don't want to spend $50 on a rib. And that's what you got to charge to make $20 on a rack of beef ribs. So kind of took that off for a while. That's what we got.
Is there any grade of brisket that y'all are using that you want to mention?
Right now we're going with prime. At the rate that beef prices are going up, we might have to make an adjustment to upper 2/3, but right now we're holding true to prime. I just got a guy that I'm about to set up an account with, Benny Keith. I got Paul over at Benny Keith about to set me up, and just kind of got to get some things in line before I do that. And we're actually about to commit to a 500-gallon offset from PRM. Excited about that. This pit's great. It does the job if you know how to cook on it. I will say the bugaboo with it is really easy to catch on fire. So you got to know exactly what you're doing. That gauge doesn't read right, so I had to figure that out. But yeah, no, even all the adversity, all the weird things that happen. This thing is mobile, so 10 years of being on the road, it's showing it. But so am I. We're keeping it going. Yeah, just keeping it going. Things are looking good.
What do you think would be next steps for you? Like if everything went right 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, what would you like?
Can I name drop?
Of course, 100%.
So I keep a close eye on what other people got going on around me, and the sausage actually, I wasn't going to be happy until they looked as good as Rosemeyer's sausage. And it's like, those guys got it. I need to be able to replicate that look. I don't want to copy what they're doing, but that's quality. I want to replicate that quality. And also their setup, I've seen how they've built out that lot. They do all their cooking there. It's got to be nice not have to move that thing. Been able to build out that lot. I think that is definitely a more reasonable approach. Obviously, guys like Cooper at Bar A, that is one hell of a setup. It's gorgeous, but I can't swing that. Not going to happen. So I think Rosemeyer's setup's more realistic. Find a place, whether it be here, where we can kind of build out into the back and have everything centrally located, or if I have to find a lot that I can just park on and keep my wood stacks and everything on. But I think it's going to be a build out of pits as opposed to a build out of brick and mortar.
You want to stay in the Cypress area or north of Cypress area?
Oh, that's a bad subject. Yeah,
that's what?
Bad subject.
Oh, okay.
Cypress makes me so angry. But
no worries.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to stay in Cypress full time. We have regulars here, so I know, I've kind of made my bed. If I left, I'd have to start all over again, and I really don't want to do that, and I do not have the name power, the brand power, to just go pop up somewhere and bring people in. It helps having the Texas Monthly article now, and being in the top 30 in Houston a few years in a row, that helps, but I'm not destination barbecue yet, and that's what we're working towards. And I think you kind of just gotta grind until that 2 years passes, and hopefully you make that top 25 new and improved.
And how has the Houston Barbecue Festivals kind of helped you get your name out there as well?
Houston Barbecue Festivals, when I did the throwdown for the first time, JC Reed came out at one of my pop-ups and just said, "You deserve to swim with the sharks, throw you in there and see what you can do." And so I didn't really know what to expect when we did the throwdown last year. So the whole mission was I have an opportunity. I don't necessarily plan on winning this thing, but I want to show them what I can do. And so I'm not going to show up with a lesser meat or something that is a special. I'm gonna show up with brisket, you know, the backbone of most, if not all, good Texas barbecue joints, and we'll see how it plays. And played really well. We got second in judge's choice, and I think the validation of my peers and everything. At that moment, I was like, I am good. I'm good at what I do. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now it's just get better. Just keep getting better. And you know, we did the new up and coming block party, and it was great to meet a bunch of new guys. I think there's some guys in there that are incredibly talented and have, you know, the future for Houston's bright as far as barbecue goes, and I want to be a part of it. We got the throwdown coming up. I got some big plans for that. I know what's going on now. I want to win, so we're going to be pushing for that. And we got invited to the festival, so that's going to be a totally different beast. I've never done anything like that, so we'll see what that's going to take. But I'm all in. I'm ready, and I'm proud to be a part of Houston. You know, I born and raised here. You know, just H all day long. So along the way, when you're not seeing any results, you're making the changes and nothing tangible is happening. You don't feel like you're moving anywhere. It is my nature to blame myself, and I get real bad in my head. And there were moments along the way where it was just starting to get really heavy and something would happen. And one of the things that happened was we just out of the blue got a phone call to do a show for Food Network. And Eddie Jackson picked my food over a bunch of people, and we got to do the show. And so it was like, okay, I'm on the right track. Something's right about what I'm doing. That was a big one. After the show, when I thought, all right, now that we've been on Food Network, everyone's gonna come by, we're gonna be the Cypress spot, and that didn't happen. It's like, okay, well, I'm not good enough. What am I doing wrong? And my mom got tired of hearing me talk about it, so she just fired an email off to Franklin BBQ, and Aaron got back to her, and he came by, came up to the window, and it's like, do you really want me to try your food? Because he was going to be dead honest with me, and I wanted it. I was nervous, but I needed it really bad. And it was the first time I'd ever seen someone manhandle a piece of brisket like that. But he was just getting a full feel for, you know, did you check the boxes? And he said that it was excellent, and we kind of started talking about the top 50, and he said, you're definitely going to be in the top 50, and that was back in 2022. That was a big one, and then he invited us out to his place and fed my whole family, and I had nothing but good things to say about him, and tons of respect for him and what he's put out there for so many others to learn. And truth is that most people wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for him. JC Reed has been great. He was the first guy, the only guy to take a flyer on us. I sent out a bunch of messages telling people to come try us. It took him 6 months, but he was the first one to come try our food. First one to write an article for us. The only one to have written an article for us in 3 years until Daniel Vaughn came by. And he's got us into Houston Barbecue Fest, and he's been incredibly supportive. He just keeps telling me, don't give up, keep going, keep going. And then Daniel Vaughn finally came by, and it was great. I got to talk with him for about an hour on the phone and, you know, bounce ideas off of him and pick his brain on, you know, what am I doing right? What could I work on? What does he like? What does he look for? He was just a world of help to me, because at that time, a month and a half ago, after the list came out, I went all in on, you know, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. I'm gonna try it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna try it, see if it works. And then he came by. He kind of put to bed a lot of those things that I was like contemplating. He was like, no, I know what I need to stick to now. And I mean, even since he's been here, the food's better. Thanks to him. He was the first one to ever try my French onion sausage. Not by design, but that's how it happened. He said the slaw was the best slaw he'd had in Texas. Just a lot of positives, a lot of great feedback that I needed. But yeah, I'd say Eddie Jackson for giving me a chance, Franklin for going out of his way to, help me, JC Reed just for being a true professional journalist, lover of barbecue, and then Daniel Vaughn for the insight he gave me and for the boost he gave me. It was a big deal for me. It was a goal that I had had for about 4.5 years of doing this.
So on the back of the trailer it says Pecan-Smoked. I'm just realizing that now. Mm-hmm. Are you still doing pecan?
Yeah.
And how did all of these guys react to your barbecue being pecan as opposed to oak smoked?
I use pecan because my dad used pecan, and it's literally written all over the trailer. So it wouldn't be the best idea unless I wanted to get a bunch of new decals to change that. Plus I have a wood guy that hasn't changed his price on me in 8 years, just because he loved who my dad was and the hard worker he was. So I still get pecan, I still use pecan, I like using pecan. Oak's great, but I'm sticking with pecan. Over the years, I've had people take note of it, but no one's ever really been like, oh, well, you got to be using oak, or mesquite's where it's at. No one's ever really had anything to say about the wood I use. Just kind of, that's cool. You use pecan.
What's the nuanced difference between utilizing pecan and oak in your mind?
You're less likely to oversmoke your meat. I think the moisture level in the the moisture level in the wood doesn't totally ruin the flavor. It doesn't have to be aged 8-10 months. You can still get a good product using almost whatever, as long as it's not just super green or old. It's going to burn well and put off a good flavor.
Very cool. Yeah. Are you a beer drinker?
I don't drink, but their selection is fantastic.
That's awesome. You want to show us around inside real quick?
All right, so we set up at Brew 30. Let me show you around. They have trivia, they have bingo, they have live music. Nice and cool in here. They actually brew their own beer. Brew 30 has their own beers that they make. They got a small little brewery in there. But they also carry, they're really big on the Houston craft beer movement. And they carry all of them here. Staff's really nice. They got a little couch seating area. Never really gets too rowdy in here. You can bring your family. Kids are good here. They let you bring your pets. They got an outdoor patio. They have cornhole leagues. It's a great place. If you're looking for a rager, it's not the place. But if you're looking for just a nice, evening, it's a good place to be. Management here, people that run this place are great. We got Gary right there. Been working with him for, over 2 years now, off and on, but for the last 1.5 years, they've had us out here and let us park out front and plug in. It's been great.
All right, so welcome to Brew 30. I'm Gary Marler, I'm the founder. John Adelman and I own this place. It's a great place to come with your family, with your friends, and I take you on a little tour to show you what we got going on. We are in Cypress, Texas, so we're on Telge Road at 15914 Telge. We'd love to have you come out and visit us and check out what we got going on. We're a combination of a tap house and a small brewery. So we've got a one-barrel system that helps us keep 5 taps on the wall, and we've got 25 guest taps that are all local beers. All of them are considered independent by the Brewers Association. That's kind of our mark. If they're not independent, then we don't carry them. If they are, then if they are independent, then we'd love to have them on the wall. We've got a lot of Texas beers, but we get them from all over the world. And then, of course, like I said, we've got our own beers here. One of the things that we do is we rotate our beers. So every time we blow a keg, we put something new and different on, so that next time you come in, you'll be able to try some cool stuff. So we go through 10 to 15 kegs a week, and so we turn a third to half our wall every week as well. So lots of cool stuff, lots of fun things to do. I can take you up here and start by making a connection to. You can see outside is our friends from Heffernan's. They come here both Thursday and Friday nights. And just love their food. It's fantastic. There isn't anybody that doesn't just rave about their food. So yeah, that's a good start. We do have rotating food trucks on Saturday, Sunday, but Heffernan's is a benchmark for us here. Behind you is a mural that was done by an artist, but it's all about beer, if you can believe that. So we got the Texas flag, and then we got the hops, then we got the barley in the field, and then of course the blue bonnets have to be in the mix on this thing, since we're talking about Texas here. And then of course Brew 30 Tap House is on the barrel there. So yeah, a little bit of everything. So you got all the ingredients for beer. You got hops, you got malts, you got water, and of course the yeast is floating around out there. You just can't see it. We do a lot of fun stuff to bring people here. We've got multiple dart leagues, so you can see the dart boards up here. I probably should have turned a light on it. And then we do have 2 cornhole leagues out back, so I'll show you that when we get a little closer to it. So maybe go to the brew house now.
Quick question.
Yep.
Are those jean shorts yours up on the
Only the big ones over there. So here's our small brewery. So we have a 1-barrel system. It brews, it's up to 50 gallons kind of number. We have a brew day, and then we put it into, we've got 4 1-barrel fermenters. So they produce 31 gallons or 2 half barrels of beer. So I've got 4 of those, and we were having a hard time keeping up with the production, so we were able to acquire a 2-barrel fermenter, so we can do double batches and double up on the good there. Pretty standard setup, 3-kettle system. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love all of these tap heads.
Yeah. So this is from our beginnings. We were just a tap house. We didn't have the brewery, so we were relying on other people to produce the product for us, right? And so we accumulate the tap handles through the process, and we reuse them. Some of them, get just stickers or something like that, so we reuse them a lot. Yeah. So then maybe we head to the backyard. So again, you can see the other part of the wall. I think you probably caught most of that when we were talking earlier, but the other half of the walls here, we do keep a mix of the styles. So we try to think there's something for everybody. So we've got shades of blonde, we've got wheat, we've got hoppy beers, we've got stouts and other things like sours and Belgians and all that kind of stuff. So we try and keep a good mix of all the different styles, just so that it's something for everybody. Yeah. So back here is where the fun begins. We've got, as you can see, there's little blocks out there. That's where the cornhole boards go, and we have, like I said, 2 leagues that play on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. So fun. You can see the parking here, but just note that you can see on the other side of that truck, it goes out into the next door neighbor's lot, and they let us use that as overflow parking. So we're very fortunate to have good neighbors that allow us to do that, and it works real well.
Awesome. What are your hours of operation?
Okay, so we're closed on Mondays. Then Tuesday through Friday, we open at 3 o'clock and go until. But typically our closing time is 9 o'clock during the week and 10 o'clock during the weekend. And then, we call it 10-ish. If everybody's still having fun, we're playing. So we're 3 to 9, Monday through Friday, or Tuesday through Friday, noon to 10 on Saturday and noon to 7 on Sundays. So one other thing that we do have is the ability to send you home with your favorite beer. So we can take any beer off of the wall and put it into one of these crowlers or growlers so that you can enjoy it from the luxury of your home. So come on out, pick up some Brew 30 beers. We'd love to have you.